Today is Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2024. I'm heading to a property of ours we got a few months ago to take some new pictures. We just got it painted, did a little bit of work, fixed it up. And what we're shooting for on this one is to do a lease option, kind of like a rent to own, where someone will put a pretty decent down payment on the house for the option to buy it, and they're going to rent it from us over the course of a few years, and then they can fulfill that option, get a loan, and purchase the house, kind of make it their own thing. A little bit of a newer strategy to me. I'd never done it. I always, really thought when you want to buy and hold properties, you try to keep them forever. But this is a strategy where really it protects your downside on the investment. It makes it a lot harder to lose your money. And I'll give you an example of why that is. It's because we bought this house with seller financing. We put $30,000 down. It's about a $400,000 house, and our monthly payment is $1,300 a month, principal only. So we're paying down the equity every single time we make a payment. And this thing will rent for probably $2,300. And what we're going to try to do is get someone to put 10% down, so about $40,000. We'll get all of our money out of the deal. We spent a little bit more on some renovations and paint and stuff, but we'll get a majority of our money out of the deal. It'll cash flow a little bit along the way, and then hopefully, I think we're going to shoot for 3 years. So after 3 years, they're going to go ahead and cash us out. It's going to become their home. Typically, we'll find a nice family that, for whatever reason, interest rates are crazy right now. Times are a little weird financially, so for whatever reason they can't buy a house the traditional way, and this is a way that we can help them get into a home, a nice, safe, clean house that they can make their own, and we'll make a little bit of profit for providing that opportunity, and then it's hopefully they'll go ahead and cash us out. It'll become a home. So it's a pretty cool strategy. Just to get some cash flow, a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of tax benefits, and there's just very, very little downside because we don't have much money in the property anymore. Awesome strategy. I'll talk about that more in some more videos, especially as I learn more about it and get some of these deals done successfully and those contracts signed. But I'm pulling up to the house now. Gonna hop out. I'll show you a little bit about what's going on with it. We got a bunch of signs in the yard, and we're trying to get some people in here. But I want to tell you about another deal I was working on today. Today was a very busy day, and I'm going to find some better lighting because the sun behind me is crazy. I'm in the house, and the lighting is a lot better, I think, but if you can see behind me, there are no countertops. Wasn't expecting there to be no countertops. I kind of forgot about that. I knew that we were putting new countertops in here. The paint looks really good. Hopefully you can see that on the video. But I'm gonna snap some pictures. I may have to use the old pictures of the kitchen, unfortunately. I did get before pictures, but we're putting in some nice granite countertops. It'll look great. Honestly, it's gonna look amazing in here, and I think it'll go pretty quickly, but I would love to have a picture of the kitchen fully completed. So this house, I think it's a 4-bed, 3-bath, or maybe 2.5 bath. Looks like they put new carpet on the stairs. Carpet in this bedroom is good. Kind of see this is the master. It's hard to show you on here, but yeah. Got paint. The little shower. Not the prettiest shower in the world, but it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna take some pictures, and I'm gonna tell you about the deal I was working on today that kind of fell apart. The deal was a self-storage deal here in the Atlanta area, and it was super exciting. We got seller financing terms on it as well. And it was going to be 0% interest. So that means every payment we're paying down principal, which is amazing. Doesn't get better than that, especially with current interest rates being like 7-8%, like just ridiculous. The only issue is I got there. I didn't know this because you couldn't really see it on Google Maps. Place was trashed, like so much trash in the back. One of the units had a fire. The seller thinks that someone just kind of wanted to burn their trash and put it all in a pile and set a fire in one of the units or next to one of the units. And then there were at least two of them. I have a feeling it was more, but at least two of the units had people living in them. One of them had a dog. So it was just crazy. Not what we were expecting when we went under contract on it. So we did go ahead and quickly let them know we're probably not the right buyer for this. Give them more time to, find someone, get it done, get it locked up and make their money. But I was really excited about it. We had everything lined up. We were ready to close by the end of the month, but that was just pretty unexpected. That stuff happens in real estate all the time. I mean, people do crazy things, and that's where the value add opportunity is. I think whoever does this deal is probably going to make a lot of money. It just was going to take a lot of time, a lot of management. We're going to have to come in, deal with the people living in the storage units. You can't be living in a storage unit, like can't do that. And he had paper leases for all the units. Some of them were rented in like 2007. So we got to contact those people. He doesn't know if they're still paying. Like, we don't know. He doesn't know if it's still the same people renting it. Just wasn't going to make sense. I mean, with all the other stuff we got going on, all these other houses here in Atlanta and stuff we're trying to do in other markets, I really had a gut feeling that we should pass on it because it was going to take a lot of time. And if it wasn't a home run deal, like the way I felt, we probably need to guarantee we were going to make $500,000 at least for it to be worth our time, because it'd be very, very time intensive on the front end. Plus, we were going to have to spend money renovating the property and fixing some issues. So, you win some, you lose some. You just got to be looking at deals constantly. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make some stuff happen, make some moves here in Atlanta. And that was my day today. Another thing, when I got here, this door was not locked. Never a good thing, so I'm going to make sure this is locked before I get out of here. Luckily, it's in a pretty decent neighborhood. Nothing happened, but not a good feeling when you go to unlock a door and it's already unlocked. Took care of that. Snapped some pictures so we can go ahead and get a listing up. Try to find someone to take this house down. Put that down payment. But there's some other things I was really brainstorming. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday who's a fellow young entrepreneur kind of going down the same journey. And he asked me the question, what do you think we were taught wrong about entrepreneurship? Talking about kind of our generation of entrepreneurs. I'm 23, I think he's 21. And the thing that I believe I've decided is that before you start investing for passive income, I think you should probably have $250,000 in the bank. And this is not how I felt even a year ago, 2 years ago especially, when things were different. But when you really take a big loss, it changes your perspective on a lot of things. And I was saying, when I was in high school or college, I never even had $50,000 in my life. So when I had $50,000, later on after I started making some moves, I didn't understand why I needed to have that money. I would deploy as quickly as I could. I'd lend on someone doing a fix and flip. I'd invest in a real estate deal. I was buying duplexes. And then, stuff went downhill. And you don't realize how quickly, as an entrepreneur, someone who wants to do business, who wants to invest, who wants to do the real estate game, you don't realize how quickly something can cost you $50,000. How two things can cost you $50,000. How your tax bill can be over $50,000. Especially when you've never made that much money in a year. It just, it doesn't occur to you. So that's a big thing. Is I've always known you should focus on your income, heavily on increasing your income, just as the first step of, if you want to build wealth. But what I didn't understand the importance of was like having, still having money when things do go wrong. And I always heard, you should save up $100,000 before you start investing in passive income. And I thought, okay, maybe that's a stretch, but that makes sense. Sounds like a good idea. But now I think you should probably make $250,000 before you're even worried about earning passive income. Because really, if things do go wrong, how much is that? You invested $50,000 somewhere and it's going to make you a couple $100 a month. How much is that going to move the needle when you need it? Or when now I'm in a situation where I do need liquidity, I would so much rather have $50,000 or $100,000 in the bank than be making $300-400 a month. So that perspective has really changed for me. I really think if you're a young entrepreneur, 18, 25 years old, even 30 years old, whatever, really focus on things that are going to increase your active income. Like, what can you be selling? What service can you be doing? What activities can you do that are going to increase your active income? Because you can produce a lot more income than an asset can. Like this house that I'm parked at right now, we'll probably rent it for $2,200 a month. Our payment is $1,300 a month. We're going to have some expenses. Maybe we'll make $500, $600, $700 a month in profit. That's great for an investment, and every $500 helps. Understand that. But what? I could do so many other things in business, or selling a service, or doing new deals, whatever it is, that are going to make me more than $500. And we had to put $30,000-$40,000 into this house just to make $500, whereas I could put $30,000-$40,000 into coaching or mentors or going to events and meeting people. And those people that I meet, the connections I make, the skills I've learned are going to make me more than $500 a month by far. Like the return on investment in yourself can be so much more than a return on investment in real estate is going to be. Now, I think you should build that real estate portfolio, learn the real estate game, learn the passive income, because it's going to be important. But really, really, on the front end of your career, focus on producing income. What can I do to make income? And then start putting that into the real estate, because it's going to compound. It's going to get to the point where the passive income is worth it. But right now, being 23, I would really love to be making, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month instead of, $600 a month in interest or whatever. That is a big thing that I think maybe isn't talked about or explained enough to younger people that want to get into entrepreneurship, or maybe just the direction I went. Because I always thought, I'm going to get into real estate. You can use other people's money to buy real estate, and eventually you'll get rich. And maybe that's true, but there's so many other businesses and things you can be doing to increase your income way faster on the active side. And then that just gives you the wiggle room and the flexibility and the buying power to get the passive income. But focus on the active income first. I think that's super important. And maybe nowadays it's not talked about as much as it should be. But that's a thing I've been thinking about is at this age, passive income means nothing. Unless you can figure something out, whatever, you're making $15,000 a month passive income, because that's out there, 100%. There are totally people that I've met who are making plenty of passive income. They never need to work a day in their life. And that's awesome. But knowing what they know, they could make millions in active income kind of by coaching and sharing that info. That's what a lot of them are doing, honestly. So just my thought of the day. I wanted to pull out the camera and put that out there. And I'm going to keep doing these. So this is the first video. I'm going to try to keep it just kind of vlog style. If you're familiar with Sam Sulik that does fitness videos, very simple. I don't have to do much editing to this. I'm just going to talk and put it together, upload it, and maybe it'll grow into something bigger, higher production quality. Maybe someone else will be holding the camera one day. But that's it for now.